Lucky birds, they never miss a meal. I, on the other hand, will have to skip breakfast. I have a class to teach over at Prentice Hall. I mean, maybe I could stop for a quick bite on the way. Nah, look at the time. I really should get going. But I just can't seem to get hunger off my mind. Plastics are also on my mind. It's the subject of today's class. We'll be creating rubber molds to cast small plastic art objects. The class will be led by my good friend Julie Malen. She's one of New York's premier mold makers and can cast just about anything. So for now, the only consumption I need to be thinking about is global plastics consumption, which is sky high. What does it mean to be or to have plasticity? Maybe Julie can provide some answers. Looks like she's also provided snacks.
Andrew, I wouldn't eat that if I were you.
Why not?
It's not a real carrot. It's made out of rubber.
Oh, it is. Where'd you get that?
I made it using this mold making process here. This is a plaster mold. You can see it fits perfectly in there.
And then this is the top?
Yes, it's a 2-part mold.
Okay, and then what's that?
That's a pour spout. So you have to have a way of getting the material into the mold that you're casting.
I thought people usually made molds out of rubber.
Well, if you're casting rubber like this carrot or this fish, you want to use a rigid material to cast. So for these, I used plaster. And for hard materials like plaster or resin, you would use a flexible mold material like rubber to cast rigid material. You can see this is kind of floppy, right? So it needs a support shell or a mother mold to keep its shape.
So in this case, the rubber is the cast, but in this case, this is all still mold material. This is the mother mold, and then you're going to cast something inside of here.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can either pour it in or you can also brush it in.
So this is more complicated in a way.
It is a little more
steps.
complicated, yeah. And this is kind of a bigger mold, but for class today, we'll make a small rubber mold to cast resin into.
So we're going to work with plaster?
No plaster. For the mother mold for that, we're just gonna use a plastic cup.
And what are we making a mold of?
We're gonna use these golf balls that have been glued together as our model. So this again is our mother mold, or the container we're gonna pour into. And we need to make that pour spout, which you pointed out on all of these molds.
Yeah, like this
little
pour
funnels. We can use clay to do that. So I have this sulfur-free fine art sculpting clay. We're gonna form that into a funnel shape. We'll put that against the model. We'll use that to mount the model inside the mother mold or the cup that we're using. Firmly press this down at the center and bottom of the cup. And now that's ready to get rubber poured around it.
So what's the bottom currently will eventually be the top for pouring into?
Exactly. There won't be any rubber around where the clay is. And so that'll be an opening where we can pour the resin into. And then these marks with the Sharpie will transfer to the rubber. So when we take it out, we'll be able to see exactly where we need to cut on the rubber.
Great.
So I'm also marking on here where I'm gonna fill up rubber material. both the part A and the part B have to get mixed thoroughly before we use them. You want to make sure to scrape the bottom of the container really well because it has a tendency to settle, and then also scraping the sides really well.
So you're going to fill it the whole way to
26.
26
I'll
ounces.
do just shy of that, because that should be plenty of material.
Yeah, it looks like 26 is just above the golf balls.
Exactly. And I'll add 89 grams of the part B. For this, you're looking for them to be both thoroughly combined. It usually takes about 3 minutes. Yeah. So I think this is ready to pour. I'm gonna turn this so I can see exactly where my pour line is.
You're going to pour to this mark.
Yeah. You always want to pour to the lowest point of your containment field. In this case, I'm going to be aiming for the bottom of the cup. You pour at one point and let the mold material slowly rise up around your form. That's the best way to capture all the details.
All right, Julie, so 4 hours have passed. Definitely firmed up. It is not super soft, but it's squishy. It seems almost like a racquetball level of resistance.
Yeah, this is perfect. It's fully cured, and we're ready to take it out of the mother mold.
So the cup and the rubber are going to have different cut lines that don't match up.
Exactly. So that the cup can help support the rubber material. So this popped right out. And
There's your pour spout on the top.
yeah, so this is the top of the mold, and we'll need to make a hole in the cup so that we have access to the pour spout. As you can see, our mark in the cup has transferred to the rubber. So that shows us exactly where we need to cut to get our object out of the mold. Starting from the top, I'm just gonna make an incision along where the model is inside of the rubber. And
Feel
now I
that?
can see the golf ball in there.
Oh, look at that.
So we can open this up now, pull these out, and you can see inside of here.
Oh, look, all the dimples.
Yeah,
It's even shiny, like the ball is. It's the exact surface.
yeah. So the mold rubber will retain the same surface sheen as the model. So after we get this cleaned up, we're going to cast resin into here. We chose Smooth Cast 327, but you can cast any number of rigid media into here. Yeah, we'll line our mold rubber back up along the seam, and then we'll use our cup as the mother mold, and we'll use a rubber band to tie everything together.
Now that we've got the rubber band on here, we're all ready to pour the urethane plastic in here.
That's right, but we're gonna need some special equipment for that because it's very toxic.
I think the class is going to love this project, but I have to admit, I'm a little bit nervous about some of the health hazards around this material.
Well, there are alternatives,
Like what?
You should check out Sasha Fishman's studio. She's working with bioplastics.
Bioplastics?
Yeah, you should check it out.
I think I'll check it out. This bioplastics material sounds really fascinating. I'm excited to see what Sasha Fishman can tell me about it.